Hello, and welcome to your Soul Awareness, a metaphysical journey of reconnecting with your body, mind, and spirit. My name is Margie Lantos, and I will be your host for this hour. Today we have two very special guests with us, which are actually going to be doing audience readings. And we've got Jim Allen to the right of me, and we've got Monty Pureheart to the left of me. I feel like I'm in a good balance today. I've got two wonderful, strong male energies with me. So I'm really looking forward to this program today. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to first have Jim maybe tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Jim Allen, and what I do basically is I do angel readings. I work with the angelic realms, particularly Archangel Michael and Jesus, and with Ascended Master realms. And I just tell people what they tell me about what they need. I do healing also with those beings. I channel those beings, and whatever comes through, I give to people. So, and it's all about four things: play, love, joy, and fun.
Fun. I like that part. Let's have fun today. I always enjoy doing audience readings, having the energy with us today. Monty, welcome.
Thank you.
What do you do?
Oh boy.
Oh, do we have an hour? Actually, that would be the last program.
Yeah, better pick an hour. I do whatever's necessary, and my only tool is love, and that's what I do.
Very well said. Very well said. With that, how about we start off with maybe a question for today? Anybody would like to ask something that maybe you're interested in or would like to have some feedback or maybe some information? Anybody? Thank you. Danny, let's get the microphone to you. So just yes, please. Thank you.
I would like to know if you can tell me what Spirit might have to say about my health at this time.
Go ahead, Monty.
Okay. Well, I'm perceiving a little bit of issue in the bronchial area. It's not bad, but I'm perceiving that. Let me take just a second here and do what I call a full body scan and see what I come up with. You got some tightness at the scalp, some tightness, soreness down the back of the neck and the shoulders. In fact, we can just kind of tweak that a little bit here. As I'm doing this, I'm aware this was not, the surface stuff is not what you're asking about. There's a deeper concern. Some issues in the stomach area. Yeah, I'm picking up mostly perhaps in the top sphincter in the stomach. And again, I'm aware that that's not what you were asking about either. It feels like you may be asking specifically about the heart issue. Is that what's going on? Okay, just a lucky guess. There is a little reduced flow through there. Some of the arteries. I'll just take a second here and see if I can open those up for you a little bit. You may have been aware just that of your body relaxing a little bit. That is an indicator that a healing is happening or has happened. Yeah, you've still got more concern than just that, and I'm not sure what it is, but there was some clogging in the arteries that I picked up on, and that seems to be alleviated to some degree now. So, to a fairly good degree. Jim?
Is there something with your nervous system going on?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there's a nervous system disorder happening or starting to happen. Muscular nervous system
Yes.
thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And I'm going to tell you flat out, and people know I'm like this, I think it might be development or starting of MS, multiple sclerosis. I advise you to go. Have you been to a doctor yet?
I have.
Okay, what they say?
Well, it's necrosis.
Right, okay.
Mm.
Right. So that's kind of what I saw.
Does it have to do with the muscles?
Yeah, the muscles and the nervous system.
Right.
Right.
Necrosis is death of the tissue.
I'm just,
Okay.
I guess my
The
main
nervous
question
tissue, the
is,
nervous glands.
I've been working on healing,
Right.
and I'm just wondering if that is if you can see that that's happening, or if there's any blocks to healing.
My sense is that what you're experiencing is a reflection of mental patterns you have about yourself and your worthiness and that sort of thing. And as you can shift that into an awareness that you are worthy to have a good, full life, that you are worthy to have a health-filled life, that will manifest for you. But right now, I find that almost every physical ailment is only a reflection of spiritual and thought energies. So, and I would suspect that the necrosis and they kind of intertwine. So the necrosis and the decreased blood flow might be that I perceived and worked with may be related on the physical level, but I think it has to do with accepting the fact that you are indeed a worthy being, and that would be my suggestion.
And as you say, thought factors, one of the things that I got immediately, which is really funny because just as I had started the program, my guides had me look at the very bottom of the card. And even if I see it, if it's not important, they won't have me look at it. It won't stand out. It won't, call to me. And one of the energies that I got immediately was, this is for someone, but I didn't know who. Which ironically, of course, they started off with the first person, but I wouldn't know that because I don't think about it. I allow it to come to me, which means that it could have been for the fourth, but they had it highlighted. The energies of what you're actually fighting with that will help you in a general sense with the communication between your physical and your spiritual, because I've noticed, even though I don't know a lot about you, I know a little bit about you, Danny, that your spirituality is very important for you. And the more that you have been encompassing that into your life, the challenging at times certain things have become, but not in a negative, and actually a positive way, which has actually helped become much more, do you feel lighter in life? Do you feel more not just aware, but do you feel like you've come to a place in life that you've been craving for in
I
this
do.
lifetime? Exactly. And here's what's actually gotten you there, which is one of the reasons why you're experiencing this different type of energy. Have you been feeling like something for you has been taking a different turn lately? Because I'm picking up energies that are a little bit, I don't want to say so much the word fear, but there's a little bit of fear in your energy all of a sudden. And I wouldn't be surprised it happened about this last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I keep getting something all of a sudden shifted for you. And I haven't seen you for quite a while. So it could have been 6 months ago, but I'm not picking that up. I'm getting that just recently something has been shifting for you. Do you understand this?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, as you know, life is about ever-changing growth and getting to know ourselves. So I always say, life is about, if it's not one thing, it's always something else. And that's part of life. That's how we learn. Once we master something, on to the next one. Do you understand? What I'm picking up, and I wasn't surprised when they brought this through, was the main energy of what you're having to learn with this certain situation that you're experiencing is fully and encompassing that aspect of trust in your life. You got the trust card to a point where you don't let your head get in the way anymore. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
And not that we, as human beings, don't at times allow our head to get in the way. You're moving into a direction where you're not letting it get in the way at all. Do you understand this? Which is something that you didn't do years ago. Have you been noticing how you've been making an effort of not listening to your head recently? And ironically, this other energy is showing up. It's because you're testing yourself. That's how we set it up. How else would we be able to learn if we don't test ourselves, right? We need something else to bounce off of. So really, in a strange way, let me ask you this. Is there a part of you that is feeling like no matter what is occurring or experiencing within yourself right now physically, in some shape or form, because of where you are spiritually, doesn't really matter as much anymore?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're on the right path, which ironically they brought through the affliction that's actually affecting you was the consciousness card. But here's the irony is consciousness has two different definitions. One is focusing too much on the physical and living in the fear. Two, focusing on consciously being aware. Do you understand this? So this is your battle right now. Do I focus on it through fear of becoming aware of it, or do I focus on it in observing that this is something that I need to learn to trust that I know is going to be okay? Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're in a great place right now. I think more than anything, your energies need to, and for your energy today, for you to recognize it, need to focus more on shifting on the trust more than the physical anymore. You're pretty much done with the physical, which I know sounds a little strange, but you can now start living more vividly in the spiritual realm and have fun with it. That's what you're meant to do.
Raphael's telling me stop separating the physical from the spiritual. They're one? Okay.
Oh,
And
Okay.
trust it.
Trust that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we attracted it to learn. So if we separate it, how are we ever going to know the truth? Do you understand?
yes, that makes perfect sense.
If you
'Cause
didn't
what I've
have
been
it, you'd never
feeling
know yourself.
recently
Yeah.
is that they've been pushing me past my comfort zone, big time.
You've been pushing yourself past the comfort zone to trust. You're really moving into
trust.
level. Exactly, to
Exactly.
trust.
There was an event or a situation almost exactly 4 months ago that marked the turning point in this. Is that correct? Do you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about right.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
I had a question about my oldest son and if he's going to be making a move in his career.
I don't know about anybody else, but I have certain constraints about answering questions of a personal nature about a third party. Having said that, I will say that it appears that the advance that he thinks he might be making will probably not occur the first time around, but will occur the second time it becomes available.
I see a lot of things going on, and the angels are showing me when the snow starts falling. So I'm getting winter time. Okay, so I never usually don't get exact dates, but I do get the season usually. I don't have any numbers, not give me numbers. So sometime in the winter, if he keeps going the way he's going, if his thought process keeps going the same way it's going, which is right now in a very positive direction. Okay, but if he switches that or changes that in any way, then it will shift and it'll be longer than that. Does that make sense? And if he doesn't, if he hangs in there and does it positively, it'll happen this winter. But if not, it'll happen maybe a longer time. I'm not seeing.
Next
I've got to
spring,
see to the
next year.
possible pumpkin time. All right, the following year. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was picking up. Ironically, I did get an energy of no, not right now. It doesn't feel like it's time. Do you understand this? Has he been getting a little tired of where he's at or what
Yes.
he's doing? Well, here's the irony. They brought through the exhaustion card. I love using my cards, by the way. It's like a shortcut. I usually ask the guides to bring the messages through, and they brought through, ironically, the number 3, which is a number of balance. He's not yet fully ready to feel, not only does he not feel fully balanced in life right now, but he's not, when a person starts to feel a little more balanced is when they start to attract the balance. Do you understand this? So it's, I love it when people say, well, I'll be happy when I have this car. I'll be happy when I have that job. Do you understand this? Here's the irony. He has to get so exhausted that he's willing to see his own power of shifting the energy. Do you understand this? Once he feels that shift, that's the joy that comes through you that attracts that energy of happiness. That's why I always say everything that you attract in life is a bonus. It's nothing more than a bonus. It's secondary nature of what you've already sent out. Do you understand this? He has to actually become much more exhausted before he ends up shifting that job. And I got about, ironically, this is the number 9, which is around wintertime as well. Yeah, but it doesn't always mean that just because there's a number on here that that's what it means. If they highlight it and point it out, that's the energy that comes up. And when he said winter, when Jim said winter, that was the energy that came around winter time. Because winter, about 9 months from now. Yeah.
This
sounds about right.
reinforces something I was feeling that I didn't mention, was it felt like there would be, there's kind of an upward trend in his energy and his thoughts, whatever, right now, and there will be a dip, and then there'll be, and that's the first, it won't happen the first time, but it will the second. So this just confirms
Yeah.
what I was feeling there.
Thank you.
And for you, let's talk about you for a minute. All right, sorry to jump in. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, Raphael's around you, has his hand on your heart. Why is that? If you don't want to tell us, that's fine. There's something. Raphael's a healing angel. His
Yes,
hand
I
is on
know.
your heart. Yeah, and his hand's there. There's something going on there for you.
It's
Not,
emotional, not physical.
it's not physical.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And a few other things are going on there, So, that's for you. That's for you to know. You don't need to tell us if you don't want
Yeah,
to.
it-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay? Just thought I'd let you know he is there. He wants you to know that he is there. And your prayers are being answered? Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I understand.
Okay. All right.
Would you like to answer?
No?
I like when the energies confirm. I do have to say that, ironically, without going into obviously asking you what's going on, have you been feeling energies of constraint or constriction? Because we did bring up the heart, which isn't specifically the physical constriction. I'm talking about the situation that you're experiencing.
It's with my daughter-in-law.
Okay, but ironically, they brought the control card up, which basically means that this energy, if you don't have a full feeling of peace and lightness, which is love, you have an energy of fear, which is trying to control the situation. Do you understand?
Oh, yes.
And ironically, remember, we attract what we need to learn. So it's really never about the other person. We think that it's about the other person. So when this person has resolved something, then we're happier. That's not true. When you resolve an energy within you, then the energy shifts in the situation that's occurring. Do you understand this? And for whatever reason, bringing up the control card basically means that there's something that you're trying to control a little too much. So when you constrict that energy of the flow of love, it goes to that area. So it's not even specifically a physical, but Jim picked up the concept of the heart, which is a symbol of love. Do you understand this? So somehow or another, obviously, don't be, no pun intended, hard on yourself about this situation. Just kind of lighten up a little and not trying to control it as much. Just allow it and flow to be in the nature of trust. Trust is a huge key factor today. It seems to be playing in a lot, not just even today on this day in the world out there. It's becoming very, very key to focus on trust.
Let me add also that you've got some stiffness and soreness. It's not real bad, but it's very persistent right across the top of your hips.
Oh,
yeah, and that was not a question. And it's worse on the left side than the right side. This is because you're not feeling supported in some of your, and I'm being forced to use the word judgments. You're not being supported by people you think should support you in some of your judgments. And so that is the lack of support reflects itself in the hips and the lower back. And the left side is the feminine side, so you're not getting some support either as a woman or by a woman in what's going on. So does that make sense to you?
yes.
And it's normal in some cases as a human feminine energy as being portrayed in the body to feel like you have to do everything. Do you understand this? Let go of the control. Let it be. Just go into a very neutral zone as best as possible and allow yourself to just breathe it away.
Okay.
There's a wonderful old saying, let go and let God.
Okay. That does make sense. Okay.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else would like to ask a question? Yes.
Hi, this is very general. I don't have any specifics except I need to reduce my stress and focus more on the positive. I don't know if it's the weather, but I keep slipping into the negative thought process. And knowing how important it is, I'd like to know how to stay focused on the positive and reduce stress.
Well, I would, first of all, you've picked up, and I'm not one of these scare tactic people, but there are entities that live off of our negative perceptions and emotions and stuff. I picked up a couple of those, which are going to be gone by the time I'm done talking. But the one thing I would suggest to you is to hold in your mind, hold in your heart, the awareness that all things always happen for us and nothing ever happens to us. And no matter how bad things are in your life, you get a little bit past that in time and you can look back and say, okay, I learned this and I grew in this way. And so Spirit says, why wait months or years to discover that whatever is happening for you? Why not understand it in the moment and bypass all that negativity? So it's a matter of shifting the way you perceive it. Spirit says that perception creates reality. So perception creates reality. What's yours?
Well, I'm aware of what you just said, and that's why I want to really shift the focus.
Here's how.
All right.
Okay. This is what the angels have given me many times, and it's fun. What do you like? Go into the things that bring you joy in your memory bank. Myself, I love the ocean. I have that in the bank. I love the forest. That's in the bank. There's certain people I love being around, the good times I've had. That's in the bank. Got the point? That's only 3. There's a whole bunch of them. Write them down if you want. Get them in your bank. So when you are feeling not good, as we say, start thinking about the things that do make you feel good. Shift your whole focus to somewhere else in your consciousness. And it works really well. See what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So, ironically, you got the traveling card, which means that there's an energy within you that is either one, hungering to physically move. So maybe you haven't traveled for quite a while because you tend to have a very anxious, antsy personality that likes to move a lot.
The fairy.
The fairy. So here's what I would recommend. If you're not in a place where you're able to physically go someplace, mentally go there. There's a reason why we've attracted certain vacation spots, because what does it do? What does it do? Anybody?
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, it takes us away, helps relax us. And so anytime you get to that space where you're feeling a little off kilter, which is part of course, your test of your own creative abilities, recognizing your power. Remember, we attract what we need to learn. So with you going through this phase at this time is needing to attract an empowered state of yours that you have been fearful of maybe for quite a long time, so you put to the side. And it always comes up when you're ready to learn it. So challenge yourself lovingly that you will master this as well. Do you understand this? And so if there isn't a place that you can directly go to on a physical level, go there mentally and allow yourself, ironically, the flip side of that was, they had me look at the bottom once again, the relax card. Allow yourself, it's actually called the laziness card. Same thing, relaxing. Allow yourself to relax by taking yourself on a journey. Where would you like to go that allows you to put yourself back in balance and not feel so off kilter? Does that make sense? Because I know everyone here that obviously has attracted this energy has the power to do it. It's just a matter of, once again, moving past that concept of trust. You know, we get so wrapped up in this world thinking, oh, I don't think I can do it. Well, if you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it. But if you desire it and you'd like to have it, then you attract what you would like to have, which is even through information. Is that simple enough for you to help balance you? It really isn't meant to be difficult. It's meant to be simple.
And the hitchhiker you spoke of, can I do anything to get rid of them?
They're gone.
Great, thank you.
Trust me.
Left the building.
Yeah. One thing that Spirit is suggesting to me that I suggest to you, it's been way, way, way too long since you spent time in the woods. And check the weather forecast, pick yourself a nice sunny warm day and take yourself on a picnic in the woods. Just you. And that will rejuvenate you more than anything else you could do right now.
Yeah, you're really in a space of having to repower yourself. It's more of a rejuvenation. You already know you have the power. I think at times you just feel a little fearful of the strength of it. And so you create it to look like you don't have the power, but you know you do. I love that. You got the power. You got the power. We all do.
On the picnic, take several of the things that you really, really love to eat and haven't treated yourself to for a long time.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
Jeez.
I think I'll try
Nice-
that myself.
Nice cheese, some grapes. I know these
That's
things.
exactly
A
what
little
I
bit of
said.
vino.
Yeah,
Wait a
yeah.
minute. If you're driving, don't do vino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Treat yourself. It's been way
Thank
too
you.
long.
What a nice gift that you've given everyone else to consider too. Thank you. Very powerful energy. Okay, thank you very much. Yes.
I was just wondering if we should continue to live with my daughter, or if we should just sell our house and stay there, or move back into our own house.
I'll let you field that one first, Jim. You're welcome.
There was like a lot of questions there at once, and so a lot of energy in this. But I'm getting is like getting away from all of it, whatever that is, and having your own life again, and wherever that direction goes. So out of all those three questions, I think the one is to move back into our own house. I'm not too sure if that was a question or not. But I think you need to get back to where you were and get away from all these other energies, all the other people pulling on you, pulling on your energies, pulling on whatever, and start getting back to where you feel more comfortably spiritually and physically. And does that make sense?
Well, she just had another baby, so I thought, we could just stay there and help her with it. So
Yeah, well, how about doing stuff for you?
Yeah.
You really want to help that baby, help you.
Yeah, you
And-
can't give from an empty well.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Are you feeling a little hesitant of leaving the energy field with your daughter?
what was that again?
Are you feeling a little hesitant about leaving?
Well, actually, I think I'd rather stay there, but I don't think she wants my husband and I to be there. I think she wants us to move back.
Okay, that explains it, because I got hesitant energy from you about leaving the situation, but very first, as soon as you asked the question, I kept getting a pullback. However, there was also an energy of not fully time yet, which means that I would probably give it maybe a couple months before you fully make up your mind. You're not ready. You're in a very, very fresh state of the energy all of a sudden occurring, which is, of course, another soul's energy field, and that's a very attractive thing to magnetize. Do you understand this? So a part of you isn't fully yet ready to make up your mind about what you're going to do for yourself. However, ironically, you're going to do something that has to do with breaking down the wall, because you did get the breakthrough card, and opposite of that, the change card. So there is going to be something changing for you, which means that maybe you two will compromise and maybe work part of the way so that each one of you is content and happy about this situation. What I would do is I would ask in the highest, finest vibrations of love that if you can't make up your mind, ask the universal energy of yourself to help shift it for you. Because sometimes being in the mind is a very, very complicated thing. And I call it beating against the wall, beating your head against the wall. It can take quite a while before you actually make up your own mind. But I'm feeling, as Jim was, an energy of you taking back your world of what you desire, even though your desire on a human level might be to be attracted to that new energy and the new baby. There's something going on with you needing to find your own self and your own world at this time. And you may find, this is the wonderful thing, is when you finally surrender and let go, there's a completely different world out there that you would have never even dreamt of, that eventually could include your daughter and her family to be a part of it. Something you might find that you've been able to empower yourself with.
What I feel like I'm supposed to say to you is you can't give from an empty well, and you've been giving of yourself so much for so long that you've literally withered away to a husk energetically. And you need to reclaim that. As you were listing your options, when you said, or moved back into our own home, it was like, yes, that's it. And once you move back into your own home, you can visit with your daughter. You can, but you don't have to cohabit. You don't have to be giving 24/7, 365.
Energetically, your life's become her life, and that's just
Yeah.
not good for you.
Yeah,
That's what I was getting. That's why you
Yeah.
need to get back to your own.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Excuse me. Who would like to have a...
I'll do it. I'm kind of interested in knowing whether I'm like too open in attracting energies. I pull in family and friends. I love what I do. I love my family. But I think I'm feeling like I'm out of balance with all of that. So I just kind of want to know what I can do to kind of bring me back to myself.
What I'm hearing is what are your motives? Because there's motives involved here. And you don't have to answer out loud, but you might want to consider what are your motives in being a collector of all this that's happening. It almost smacks of control issues. So that's kind of what I'm getting. There's nothing wrong in wanting to care about and for other people, but it almost feels like you're trying to live vicariously through their lives and forgetting to live your own life.
Interesting.
I'm-
Okay.
I'm
I hadn't
getting-
thought of it that way.
I'm getting a Mother Mary issue, though.
Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing, like, you want to nurture everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind
Okay.
of, I think that's how I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah, and that's, so I'm getting, you want to do that with everybody, but you can't, you know this, okay? And he said something before, you're giving from a dry well, so why don't you take all this caring you have for everybody else and just start turning it in here, which is difficult to do, so she's giving me something for you right now, okay? This is really funny. Go to a store, grocery store, buy yourself your favorite, say, piece of candy, and say, this is just for me. No, when I'm doing this just for me, because I deserve this, and it's great, just for me. Now, I'm not saying, I don't think she's laughing. You're not supposed to say, go to the grocery store and eat a bunch of candy and get fat, all right? That's not the idea, but you get the,
Right.
get the point,
Yeah.
right? And do things only just for you. I'm doing this just for me. No one else. This is for me. This makes me happy. This brings me joy. No one else. Just me. Okay? All right.
And it seems important that you loosen the reins that you think you have on other people. It doesn't feel like you're doing this out of anything but love, but it's still a control issue.
Okay.
Which is the opposite of love.
Yeah.
So it really is, any experience that we go through is either of love or of fear. But you can't have both because it's like oil and vinegar. So when you start to feel fearful of the lack of balance that you're feeling within yourself, by maybe spending a little too much time taking care of everybody else, that's when you need to ask your question. What is my motive here? Is it to suffocate myself or is it to help me breathe? So in a bizarre way, you've actually attracted a wonderful lesson to help you recognize how you make yourself suffocate and how you keep yourself from breathing and balancing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest things I have to say that I've ever had to learn to do in this lifetime was to learn to say no. And I'm a giver. I give. But now I'm also allowing myself to become a receiver. Do you understand? And
Yeah.
I've noticed that the balancing that I've given myself of giving and receiving at the same time has helped me become much more joyful in life because I feel empowered. I allow myself to attract what I need, how I need it, without worrying so much about taking too much or giving too much.
Okay.
Do you understand
I
this?
do.
Once
That
you
makes
allow
sense.
yourself to move into a space where you have recognized more of the signs that the universe gives you through your feelings, you're going to learn to pay much more clear attention to when they come to the surface.
Okay.
I'm getting you need to be proud of yourself for recognizing there's an imbalance here. A lot of people don't see it. You see it. You grasp it. You know something's not right.
Yeah.
So now, okay, so you should really be proud of yourself just for that.
And I'm also
Thank you.
perceiving that you've been having an increasing issue with stomach distress, acid stomach or that sort of thing. This is, in your particular case, your stomach is where you hide your stress.
Okay.
And it's causing a ongoing irritation, and the longer you do it, the worse the irritation gets, and that's why you've been having more and more acid feeling and digestive upsets and so forth. So, again, let go and let God. Relax.
Thank you. Thank
Which
you.
is ironic because you just got the going with the flow card.
Okay
The
then.
control factor. There's a lot
Yeah.
of issues with people trying to take too much control of their life in the
Or other
world today.
people's lives.
Yeah.
Or other people's
Or
lives.
people's, yeah.
Well, ironically, with Mother Mary coming into the picture, Mother Mary's energy is a signal of love, which means that somehow or another, somewhere within you doesn't feel fully loved. And of course, what do? We look for it outside. We
Yeah.
think that if we do for others, that we'll get it back. Well, indirectly, yes, but not if you do it over and over and over. You're exhausting your energies of allowing it to be able to come back to you. Do you understand?
Yes,
So
yes.
really, as silly as it sounds, I love that concept of allow yourself to stop and smell the roses for yourself and breathe it in, because really nobody else is smelling a rose but you when you're smelling it.
Right.
Do you understand this?
Yeah.
So how often do you stop and smell the roses for yourself? Which ironically is a Mother Mary. Mother Mary has energies of roses.
Oh,
Buy yourself some roses.
there you go.
Start taking care of yourself first.
Thank
And
you.
you can balance that. You don't have to do it all the time. Just go with the flow. Just trust the process.
Okay.
You could even say to yourself, you know what? I know that maybe I should be giving a little bit more back to myself today, but I'm not fully yet ready, so I'm going to do a little bit. That's part of the going with the flow, is
Okay.
becoming observant of it and moving into the energy of balance. So some days, instead of giving the 70%, you're going to find you still need to give a little bit, like maybe 60%.
Okay.
Do you understand this?
Yes.
And that's okay. That's okay. That's part of loving yourself, is being kind and compassionate with yourself. Mother Mary energy is a very strong energy within your energy field right now. I would either get a picture or a statue or something that allows you to see that. I've got one. And one of the reasons why I feel like I've attracted it is because years back is when I actually taught a goddess retreat, which ironically, that was the weekend that I needed to open the new path for myself about learning to love myself more.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Thank
She's
you.
calling you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you. Hello.
I was wondering if you can tell me any long-term health effects I may be facing, and am I on the right track?
I don't get anything today. Do you have anything? Is there anything in your energy field
There's a
today?
couple issues.
But is it like, it doesn't feel heavy?
No,
I'm picking
not-
up
No.
a history of breathing in environmentally unsound air. Is that someplace that was dusty or chemicals or smoky on a long-term basis?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm seeing some discoloration in the lungs. I'm seeing some cellular aberrations. If, with everybody's consent here, give me about 15 seconds, we'll see what we can do. You may have felt a relaxation through your body, and especially in the chest area. That represents a healing having just happened. So your lungs appear much pinker, much healthier to me now. The discoloration is gone and the aberrations are gone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
You know, ironically, which I think is really funny, because I do shuffle these cards and I ask the universe to gift whatever it is that they want as far as messages through them. You got the control card. We have some trust and control issues today.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to really balance, aren't we? Here's what I would be a little bit leery of with your energy that I'm picking up. The messages that you've been hearing tonight, especially about fear, has been holding a little bit heavier on you, which means that it's very important not to try and control the situation, because that's a state of fear. Do you understand this? You feel that you might have been in an environment that you couldn't fully control. Obviously, we all attract it, right? Which means that we actually do control it. But if you take yourself out of the position of feeling like you need to control something that had to be, because it's an experience that you had to attract, if you can learn to trust that everything that is in your world today is what needs to be there, no matter what, you won't have to worry or think about what ifs.
Okay.
You can enjoy life, because that's more important when it comes to health than it is creating it through fear. Do you understand this? Here's kind of what they're showing me. They're having me go down this one, you're on this one lane road right now. You're coming to literally this pivotal moment in your life right now that's splitting off. You're having choices. And the choice that you're having is, am I going to live in that energy of fear and try and control the situation? Or am I allowing it to trust that this path that I'm going down, no matter what it is going to be what it is? Do you understand this? Here's the irony in that is, we don't realize that right now your energies are portraying fear in the future, which means that you're already creating something to occur. Do you understand this? You're picking it up. Here's the beauty of what you're doing is, you're recognizing it, so now you can do something about it and shift it. And it actually has to do with more of that trust factor than the control factor. It's an irony, because your mind will play games with you. So every time you come up with the feelings of a little bit of that fear or wondering if something will occur, take that power back and go down this path, which is everything that is supposed to be happening is exactly where it needs to be today.
Okay. Thank you.
Great energy for you,
Also-
which
also-
ironically, hang on just one quick second. No, I have to finish this because this is a nice little surprise. They told me once again, they're doing a lot of flip side with the cards. I've never done this before, so it's interesting. Ironically, with that last message they've given you, as you've chosen to hear what was said, I believe you got it, which also brought up the harmony card. You have harmony. You officially are on the path of harmony now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What I started to say was that beginning of your shift began probably in late January. It feels like about 6 months ago that you started moving. First, you moved into an awareness that things were not where you wanted them to be, and you began preparing yourself to make the change to have things be as you wanted them to be, as you felt they needed to be. And again, that magic 4-month mark, it feels like 4 months ago you really locked into it, and you've really been working hard at allowing yourself to change. And so this is kind of a culmination. This is kind of a kickstart in your new direction tonight. So, but yeah, you've been working towards it, and Spirit says good job.
Thank you.
Very good place. You're in a very good place.
Yeah.
Just, I keep feeling a little bit of hesitancy with your trust. Do you understand this? But remember, that little bit of hesitancy that you're feeling is your, what I call your monkey mind. Because I know you know your own truth. Remember to always go back to that place. And ironically, is this your spouse?
Yeah.
Spouses have a great way of kicking us to remind us, which I wouldn't be surprised you do, because I keep feeling an energy going, nah, 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 nah. It's not jibber jabber. It's you attracted this to help continue to remind you. And what a great gift. Hey, you know what? I have to tell you, repetition is what shifts and change. Repetition. So the more you hear it, the more it's happening for you. Do you understand this? You've attracted this, you made this contract for her to remind you that you have this great sense of power that you're now fully blooming in and coming to fully realize. That's why they call it realization. And at the same time, you're gifting her to recognize her power in doing it. After a while, here's the beauty. You won't hear so much of this anymore because you won't need to. So the faster you learn it, the less you hear it. No, I'm kidding.
Just because she's your wife doesn't mean she's wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, you got to listen to them.
Okay. Yes.
I have a question about my health as well. I've been making some changes, trying to get more positive and get my health back on track. I was just wondering if you see anything.
Well, the first thing I pick up with your health is that the base of your neck and the top of your spine are all jammed up. Am I right?
You're right.
You're right, okay. But that's not what you're talking about. If I'm getting some issues around the liver and possibly the kidneys. Is that what you're aware of? Evidently not. Okay. Well, Jim, I'll throw it at you and I'll work on your neck while he's talking to you.
Thank you.
The angels are saying you just don't spread your wings enough. Get out and do things. So that has to do with breathing and get out and movement. Movement's a big one for you. Get out and move. Do you move a lot?
I've just gotten back into it.
Yeah, and that's going to keep you on the path. It's movement. They want you to move. Okay.
Okay.
So breathe, flap your wings. Get going, get things going again, get the energy flowing again for you. Right? You liked doing that at one time and you stopped.
Yes.
And it brought you great joy.
Yes.
And so that's all I got for you. Okay? All right. Start doing it again. And if you want help with that, and is there an angel around you? Sorry, it's going to cut you off. My Archangel Raphael is right there.
Okay.
He is right there. Raphael, get me out of bed. Sometimes you don't feel like getting out of bed. Help me get out of bed and do this, or whatever situation. I'm too lazy when I watch TV. No, Raphael, help me go. Help me eat the right things. Help me move along.
Raphael, the angel of healing.
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 Do you mind if I ask you what specifically you were referring to? Because, see, my only tool is love, and love never goes where it's not invited, and you have a tendency to be a very private person. So,
Yeah.
so when I try to read you, it kind of bumps up against your wall and lays there bleeding on the ground. So if you can give me an idea of what it is you want us to look at, by doing that, you open the doors and let me look a little more clearly.
More with like blood pressure and that kind of stuff, anxiety.
Okay, anxiety is the key. Now, the blood pressure is a symptom. Anxiety is the
Yeah.
key, and you're a worrywart. You've always
Yes, I
been a
am.
worrywart.
Yep.
And you'll always be a worrywart unless you can let go and let God. It's,
Okay.
It comes back to control. We've been talking. There's no mistake that all you people are sitting here, and we keep talking to you about control.
Us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the one that's, oh, okay.
Hey, I'm in control here. Yeah, I would say nobody's ever really taught you how to ground and center, have they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I would strongly suggest that you acquire a good meditation CD or tape and learn how to meditate, learn how to quiet. You talk about a monkey mind. You've got the monkey mind that's always jabbering and never saying anything. And it keeps you from relaxing, keeps you from resting. Please, 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 for your health, and you want to stick around as long as your husband does. You have got, and I don't like to use the word got to, but if you want to stick around, please learn to meditate, because otherwise you will not.
Okay.
That's just as clear as I can make it.
Walking and moving can be your way of meditating. Some people can't sit and do that. Walk and movement, clear your mind that way.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
different forms of meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not always the way that we think we have to sit for 2 hours.
I'm getting for you walking and
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
good combination.
The angels keep telling me that. Over and
Yeah.
over.
And try to quiet the monkey mind.
Which is ironic because they brought through the rebel card. You have a sense of rebelliousness that doesn't allow you to, once again, trust, so you go into what's called the control zone. When you're rebellious, it's okay. In some cases, in this case, it's putting too much pressure on you. Do you understand this? Which here's the irony. Ironically, here we were talking about your husband needing to listen to you. Guess what you're going to have to learn to do?
I listen to him.
Which ironically, here's the bizarre thing. Have you been having something going on with, and I don't want to go into too much of a personal thing, which I know a lot of people are, so you're not the only one. Is there something going on with either your finances have become tightened?
No, actually, it's been better.
But there's something going on with money.
Okay.
I keep getting the dollar sign. I don't know if it means to be a little bit more frugal.
Okay.
And be a little bit more, I don't know if it's like save a little more.
Okay.
Don't go overboard, because subconsciously we can bring through a fear that we wonder why we've had it, all of a sudden we lost it. Do
Okay.
you understand this? So even though you've lightened up and allowing more of that flow to come into your life, there's still something that's constricting you from feeling like you deserve it.
Okay.
Do you understand this?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised that it did actually come into your life, but this energy is more of what you need to trust, which is that you are allowed to have abundance. You got the abundance card, which is not just about finances. It's about being able to have anything and everything that you desire. So ironically, here it is, you attract the financial aspect, but then all of a sudden this health issue is occurring. Do you understand this? So there's still lack of balance of you being able to trust that you can have it all.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You can have it all, and you are having it all.
I still buy a lottery ticket if I were you, though.
Especially with the abundance card.
I want for us too.
Don't forget about
You don't
the
get who
little
your friends
people.
are.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Do we have time for one more? One more quick one. Let's fit another quick one in.
Thought you'd never ask.
Well, then, I'm a little interested on my career path. But if you think there's something else that I really need to hear about, I am open.
Okay, well, I have no idea what we're supposed to talk about, but I knew that we were supposed to talk. As far as career path, what Spirit usually has me tell people is we are not an employment agency. Now, if you have a specific question, I might be able to help you a little bit about this career path.
I have an opportunity, well, I have 2 jobs. And the second job, I'm not sure if I need to continue to pursue that or back away from it.
I'm hearing that your second job is the one you should pursue.
Okay.
I'm hearing that that's, yeah, I mean, I'm getting a real clear go on that.
Have you been feeling that?
It's conflicted. Because
Okay.
it's new and it's unknown.
You're afraid of giving up what you have for the unknown.
Which is ironic. Have you been feeling like this other one that you've had for quite a while is one that you might want to be pulling away from?
That's the easy one. So for me,
Easy-
it's like stay with the
But see, it's not about
would it be
easy.
foolhardy to give up the
Okay,
easy?
so the question really is, it's not about easy or difficult. Are you feeling like the one that you've been dealing with in the past has been the one that you have been feeling like maybe backing away from a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Our minds love to play games. It's a very simple yes or no. You'll go into the, well, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm. We're not on the nutty farm. Don't drive yourself crazy. Do you understand this? Ironically, got the clinging to the past card. So be careful of what your past is keeping you stagnant of. Do you understand this? Which ironically, the flip side of that was the letting go card. It's time to let go of your past. So I would say, because making these decisions can be a little tricky because we get a little scared, which is normal. So instead of trying to control it so much, move into the energy. Of course, what we started off first by trusting it. Ask in the highest vibrations of love to just surrender it, let it go, and see where it falls.
Okay.
It's as easy as it needs to be.
Yeah, and I
No
have-
need to complicate.
I have to say, you are somebody who absolutely loves challenges. You're very smart. You love to be challenged. So go for it.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, well, looks like we're needing to wrap up for today. It's been a wonderful hour. Great questions, great answers, great messages, and thank you very much for coming today. It's been wonderful having your energy with us. And for those of you out in the wonderful world, thank you for joining us as well. And if you'd like to contact Jim Allen or Monty Pureheart, you are welcome to do so at
HealingFire.
angelichealingfire.com, and Monty at, I love this, I4C4U.com. Oh, here we go. There we go. So, pleasure having both of you with us as well. It's been great having the energy of 2 blessed, beautiful angels. I feel like I've got wings. I've got wings.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So, until next time, it's been a blessing. Namaste.